Hello and welcome to Palace Intrigue. I am your host, Mark Francis. A friend of the King's told the Sunday Times, Harry just sees conspiracy every time a decision doesn't go in his direction. He is like a gambler in a casino who can't walk away. He just doubles down. Even when he speaks of reconciliation, it is laced with threats and anger. It's not that the King won't speak to him, it's that he can't. How can you have a private and delicate conversation when you know it is going to end up on a news special within hours? Perhaps if he tried to earn rather than demand a reconciliation, things might go a little better for him. It's just very tragic. Robert Taylor, also in The Express, writes, "There is so much that is so sad about the Duke of Sussex's latest failed legal battle and sob story BBC interview. In which case we must beg him, with the best will in the world, and using admittedly unroyal language, to just shut up. I can't put it any simpler than that. Every time he carries out an interview with the Beeb or Oprah, and every snide remark in every book he publishes, just makes it yet more likely that the matters he claims to want to resolve with his once nearest and dearest will merely push them all further and further apart. How can he possibly plead for reconciliation with his family when he's done so much to undermine them? Is anyone who had just been punched in the face ready to reconcile themselves with the puncher? Particularly when they're accused of racism or living with cancer. Security is Harry's obsession. It has, he told the BBC, always been his number one issue. He claims it was withdrawn as a weapon to keep him and his wife working as royals here in the UK. An establishment stitch-up, he calls it. And of course, we understand that anyone in the public eye, particularly a father of young children, will feel concerned. We all remember Diana and Paris, September 1997. Nobody wants a repeat. But why continually wash your family's dirty linen in full public view? Whatever happened to that famous royal motto, never complain, never explain, at least not in public? Surely an obsession with global media interviews just makes the security risk even greater. More importantly, Harry still cannot understand, and maybe never will, just how spoiled his continual bleating sounds to ordinary people up and down the UK. And then we see this guy who's inherited so much money, who earns millions through slagging off his own family, who lives in a gorgeous Californian pad overlooking the sea, who rubs shoulders with A-listers and who travels around in luxury, moaning about how life has treated him so harshly and telling us how much he misses parts of the UK. Which parts, dare we ask? Oh, and one more thing. If he genuinely wants reconciliation, please, Harry, no more interviews. Saying little or nothing is now your best hope. Then let time work its magic." In The Independent, Hugo Vickers writes under the headline, "It is hard to sympathise with Harry's latest interview, yet he's clearly deeply troubled. Prince Harry wasted £1.5 million in legal fees on his fight for security, which could have brought him a lot of personal security or benefited his children. Then he gave one of those interviews that members of the royal family occasionally unwisely take part in. In it, he blamed everyone else but never himself. He talked about forgiveness. There are several things for which it is hard to forgive him. There is the deep distress that he caused his grandmother, the Queen, in the last months of her life, when at the end of one of the most extraordinary reigns in history, she should have been sailing towards sunlit uplands. Then in his book, in his interviews, he hurled abuse at the King, Queen Camilla, the Princess of Wales, his brother, and more besides. A lot of dirty laundry was aired in public. He claims he wants to reconcile with his family, but then he muddies the water by claiming his father no longer speaks to him. If that is true, then it is most likely that the King, who has been unwell, does not feel up to facing a barrage of me complaints from his wayward son. The King is a compassionate man who, even on Prince Harry's ghosted word, begs his sons not to darken his later years with internecine family warfare. The King has never responded to any of the barbs thrown at him from across the pond. He has left the door wide open. I doubt the King will appreciate an update on his health from his son in a week when he spoke optimistically and openly about the effects of his cancer treatment. He claimed he wanted privacy out of the spotlight, and yet he and his wife seek the cameras at every turn. He wants to protect his children, but his wife shows us clips of the backs of their heads or the occasional soundbite along with "We love you, mummy" messages. There is nothing to stop Prince Harry allowing them to see the King or indeed their other rejected grandfather. One day they will grow up and realize what their parents have denied them. It is hard to be sympathetic to Prince Harry, and yet he is clearly a deeply troubled person. Though he claims to love his Montecito existence, he must have bitter regrets. He looks miserable. As a young working prince, he attracted crowds of admirers not dissimilar to Beatlemania. He played cricket and football with happy youngsters on his overseas visits. They loved him. The Queen gave him and his wife the Commonwealth to work with. Not enough for them. They threw it all away. Now he is merely assigned the occasional walk-on part in his wife's documentaries. No wonder he misses his country. Palace Intrigue will be right back. In the Daily Mail, Maureen Callahan writes, in what can only be described as a spectacularly dumb decision in a history of dumb decisions, Harry wailed his way through yet another self-pitying interview, this time with the BBC on Friday. This interview is a doozy. We begin with Harry, as ever, wink wink, blaming other people for his own poor decision-making in bringing this case to a UK courtroom. His loss, Harry said, certainly has proven there was no way to win this through the courts. I wish someone had told me that beforehand. I'm willing to bet that no shortage of lawyers could have told Harry he wouldn't win, but obstinate as he is, would he have listened? God, he is thick, just as his sainted mother, Princess Diana, said. We have now entered a new stage of delusion in which Harry claims that, while no longer a working royal, he is the most important member of the royal family because, and he offers no solid proof of this, he is the most under threat. From which forces or entities he will not specify, but Harry walked right up to saying that it's the British royal family itself, insinuating that they wish him grave harm. But despite suggesting that such dark forces are plotting against him, Harry said he has never once asked his father, the king, to intervene. Either he's in fear for his life and the lives of his wife and small children, or he's not. This would not be the kind of discussion one delays. If this were true, how could Meghan be gallivanting in her garden, flitting about on her cooking show, making the podcast rounds, and saying that her life and life with Harry has never been better? By the way, if Harry really believes that the royals are arrayed against him, just as Meghan claimed in that Oprah sit-down that royal life made her suicidal but she was denied help, why cling to the pompous titles? And there you have it. If you'd like to email us, our address is thepalaceintrigue@gmail.com. Please follow us on Spotify, Apple, and the app of your choice, and leave us a nice review if you're enjoying the show. We also have a new show out for you from Calaroga Shark Media called Diddy Do It. It's a daily update from the courtroom case and the sex crimes trial of Sean Diddy Combs. You can get that daily wherever you get your podcasts. It's called Diddy Do It. I'm Mark Francis. My thanks to John McDermott. This is Palace Intrigue. Good times.